Beam, 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 beam. Is there dancing in book reviewing? Well, I guess there is now. Fishing rod, reel it in. Big fish, small fish. Cardboard box. No? Okay. Dig with everyone, welcome back to my sitting room. My name is Diesel and you are, as always, most welcome. Today we're obviously going to be but today I'm clearly not going to speak any better than any other time. Today we are obviously going to be reviewing a book. That book is Ghost for Sale. It is by Sandra Cox. The quality of these is never going to improve, so, you know, we're just holding out for a miracle. So, what's it all about? Well, this book follows the life of 19-year-old Caitlin, who lives with her shopaholic cousin, who has a lot of money, probably too much money than anyone should ever have, because literally she buys stupid things with it. She's not in any way sensible with her dollars, or her euro, if you were living where I live. Caitlin cannot believe that her cousin would be so foolish as to buy 2 ghosts off eBay, but suddenly she can't deny the truth when a ghost appears in front of her. His name is Lemes, and he has been dead for literally over 100 years. Lemes, of course, has been dead for over 100 years, so comes with his own backstory, and Caitlin soon finds herself mixed up in it. Caitlin must help Lemes and his twin sister Anna to make the journey into the light. Come towards the light. If I come towards the light, we'll be even more pasty than usual. In order for Caitlin to help these two move on, she must first find Anna's dead fiancé. But a malevolent spirit is dead set, excuse the pun, on Anna crossing over. Caitlin will have to find out the mystery of what the heck is going on, and also somewhere in there is a love story between the dead guy and Caitlin. Let's digress. So let's get right to the point. Number 1, writing style is pretty average, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing really to complain about. It's written pretty much like a normal everyday book. So let's talk about the plotline. The first thing I have to admit to you today, which I will admit to you every time, is I didn't finish this book for many reasons. Let us discuss the reasons. The first thing I didn't like about this book is Lemes' arrival before Lemes actually arrives as a character. When he comes out of his test tube, he really affects Anna, yet this is kind of just brushed over, like, alright then. That happened. I felt the tingles. Okay. Lemes actually appears, and Anna is freaked out for maybe 2.5 seconds, and then suddenly it's like, oh, there's a ghost. Okay. No! There's a ghost and he's talking to you. Be bothered about this just slightly more. Also, there's inconsistencies, in my opinion, in the fact that Lemes can't really touch things, or he can go through lots of things, yet he's still able to open doors and pick up things, and it's very odd. Then there's all these random male characters that are thrown into this book just for the sake of making Lemes jealous. Which leads me right on to the next part. The dead guy and the alive girl are trying to have some weird relationship, and one of the taglines in the description of the book, which I conveniently left out because I didn't want to scare you all straight away, says, "But she can't ignore the truth when she starts seeing sexy Lemes O'Reilly, who has been dead, blah blah blah. He's a fascinating spectre, and the more time Caitlin spends with him, the closer they become, sending them both spiraling into a star-crossed tailspin," as in star-crossed lovers, I might add. No matter how desperately they long for each other, wow, I'm using a lot of hands today, there's just no future for a guy who has already stopped breathing. They have this weird attraction to each other, and like no one seems to think this is odd, and they go on about it constantly. All you hear is about how much he thinks she's attractive and how attractive she thinks he is, and then they just do this like, oh, well, how can I fancy a dead guy, and she goes on dates with these men and he goes with her and he's really jealous and he's acting like she's betraying him, and it's just absolutely utter ridiculousness. I hate love triangles at the best of times, and this is definitely one of those times. There's also some really bad messages in this. For example, at one point they're talking about GPSs, and Liam says, "Who would have thought of such a thing?" And Caitlin says, "A geek." And obviously Liam doesn't know what a geek is, so she explains it to him as a really smart person that's good at electronics. And he is intrigued, and he says, "So you must be a geek." And she gets really insulted by this, like insulted, and says, "Why would you say that? Or why would you ask that?" And he said, "Because you're an intelligent young woman." And she says, and I quote, "Well, I'm not that good with electronics. I evaded." He studied me for a moment. "You don't like being considered intelligent? It's not cool." Uncomfortable with this conversation, I squirmed a bit in my seat. Take that stupid ass crap and get out of my face. Also, there's a lot of "not like other girls" bullshit, or "you only pretend to be ditzy, but I see the real you." No. I didn't get to the fun parts of the plot because I literally could not deal with putting up with this stuff any longer. I think, how far did I get in this book? I got, to be exact, 56% of the way in, and I would say 80% of that is these two talking about how attractive each other are, stupid dates with boys that are just meant to make what's-his-face jealous, and Liam looking sad constantly. Like, the fact that Liam is sad or looks passive or whatever is said probably about 50,000 times in this book. There was one time when the same description of Liam was made twice within 5 lines. 5. I think the plot would have been really intriguing, but I was just going out of my mind dealing with the girl who is not bothered by the fact that there's a ghost following her around and all the continuity errors in what he can and cannot do. And it just, I just couldn't. And there's so much added in extra filler that is completely not needed, that is taking so long to get to the good part. Do I look stressed? Because I promise I'm not. The actual bits of investigation and going to find Anna and stuff are quite good, except there isn't really technically any mystery because Liam just seemingly walks right in and finds everybody he needs to find. And to be honest, the only thing that I don't know is who the malevolent spirit is, and I can pretty much guess how that's going to go down anyway, so therefore, why bother? To be honest, I just find this book completely unbelievable, slightly misogynistic, and just freaking annoying. So, will I be finishing it? No, probably not. If I do finish it and change my mind, I'll be sure to come back and tell you, but the chances are slim. Would I recommend it? No. No, I wouldn't. And I know this has seemed very nitty-gritty, right to the "I really don't like this book" point, but that is how I felt, and I always told you I'd be honest. There might be a more collected version of this review on my blog, which I will link below, and if there is, yay, and if there's not, well, you just get to sit with me ranting and raving for however long this has been. That's all I have to say. If you like it, tell me. If you didn't like it, tell me. And if you are going to read it, also tell me. If you think I've saved you some hassle, tell me that too. Until next time, grab my guts for coming. So long.